Hi, I'm Arianna Lasha, and this is Welcome Home Doggy, a show where we talk about creating a better quality of life for all dogs. Today, I'll be talking with Brad Malin, founder of CompanionCBD. So stay with us, we'll be right back. Brad, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So why don't we just take it from the top for our viewers that don't know. Go ahead and tell us, what is CBD and where does it come from?
Absolutely. CBD, or cannabidiol, is a compound found in the cannabis plant. It's hemp derived. So cannabis and hemp are the same species. It's just one of many compounds of the hemp plant.
Okay. And like I said, I feel like when people hear CBD, they kind of get interested, their ears kind of peak. It's this new thing, everyone's doing it, but how do we know that it's like safe and effective for pets, let alone people?
Great question. Well, many companies out there that are selling CBD are marketing companies. They're not actually manufacturers like we are. We're actually the manufacturer. We do independent laboratory testing to show that the CBD is pure, that it's free of any pesticides, heavy metals, and most importantly, THC, which is the compound that gets you high. So all of our products are free of THC. And again, we use stringent guidelines and good manufacturing processes at an FDA-approved facility where we make our products.
Okay. What does CBD do for pets?
CBD, basically, the biggest attribute of CBD is that it rids inflammation in the body. So whenever you have inflammation in the body, it causes havoc and can create all different types of disease states and conditions. So removing anti-inflammatory responses is one of the key things. And it's very beneficial for different conditions like that, for pain, joint mobility, seizure disorders, allergies, GI conditions. And we're learning more and more each day as CBD continues to evolve that it's also, there's a lot of evidence-based information about cancer on the human side. So a lot of the documentation that we're getting is from the human side, but there are a handful of studies out there on the efficacy of it for pets.
Okay, so would you say that the effects of it are similar to those of people when used in pets and animals?
Well, CBD is CBD, so yes, but it works differently in animals because animals have more receptor profiles or receptor sites in their bodies. So it can work faster in pets than it can in humans. But the anatomy of humans and pets are very similar in terms of having an endocannabinoid system, which is a very, I guess, scientific term for, I like to correlate it to having it's like an electrical system in your body. So when you feed it the endocannabinoid system, CBD, again, it helps rid inflammation and helps with the different disease states and conditions that I mentioned earlier. So, which creates hemostasis or balance in the body.
Well, definitely, like you said, a lot of science going in behind it.
Absolutely.
Something that I know is interesting and people want to know, is this legal?
Absolutely. If it weren't legal, we wouldn't be doing it. But again, once again, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So back in December of 2018, the Farm Bill Act was signed, which basically descheduled hemp-derived products from the Class 1 schedule list. So it is 100% legal to ship and transport CBD in all 50 states. However, there are certain states or certain cities that have different laws that we tell people that you need to abide by. For example, California. California, interestingly enough, was the first state to have recreational marijuana pass. But if you're a veterinarian in California, you cannot dispense or sell CBD out of their practice. They can only talk about it just until recently. However, there is some legislation in effect that we're finding that will be changing here very soon, where that will be veterinarians will embrace CBD more and have the ability to sell it out of their practices.
Right. So definitely sounds like there's some red tape in some areas, but obviously for it being so new, especially for pets, that's expected. But like you said, this could be a growing industry that we'll see, popping up all over the US.
Absolutely. I mean, the projections are the CBD industry is projected to do 25 billion by 2025. So, the FDA has been doing their due diligence and going through their process of figuring out how they're going to regulate CBD. That's part of the reason why we do what we do and how we do it, for the fact that it's all about education. Lots of middlemen in this business that are in it for the quick buck. We're in for the scientific education, so people can know they can find a safe, effective product through Companion CBD.
Absolutely. And speaking of your company, Companion CBD, how did you found that, create that? How did you find that there was a need for this in your community?
It's a great question. Well, back in the day, I was a former athlete and had my body abused, and I've had 16 surgeries, believe it or not, 5 of them being on my back. And I came across CBD personally 4 years or so ago, and it had such a profound impact on me that I decided to do the research and better understand how it works, and just saw a huge need for it in the marketplace. And I collaborated with my now business partner, Dr. Josh Sosnow, who's a veterinarian of over 20 years. And we collaborated and said, let's make a go at this. And that was 3 years ago. And we've been in business for almost 2.5 years.
Wow. See, you were like, I'm tired of hurting. I know these pets are hurting too. Let's stop that.
You better believe it. It's really that simple. And, CBD affects everybody differently, including pets. And we look at it as individualized medicine. It's not a one size fits all proposition as it's marketed by many. But again, we take a very individualized approach, and as like human medicine, to find the best clinical outcome, to find the best dosing, and get the best result.
Right. Let's talk about like the dosing, because every animal or pet, dog, like different sizes, different breeds. I'm sure that all plays factors into it. So how do you dose your pet with CBD?
Great question, and you hit the nail right on the head. So again, it is not a one size fits all proposition as many companies market. So we take a few things into consideration to determine the right dosing regimens, and it's definitely the size of the pet. And again, we're talking dogs and cats. So that's a huge factor. The condition you're looking to treat. Is it a pain situation? Is it osteoarthritis? Is it both? Is it allergies? Is it anxiety, separation anxiety? Is it a noise phobia like fireworks from the 4th of July or New Year's? Or even anxiety getting into the car, going to the vet, going to the groomer. There's so many different types of anxieties and behavior disorders. So once again, once we know the condition that you're looking to treat based on the size of the animal and the age of the animal, well, then we have specific dosing regimens that work, that we've created, that we've seen extraordinary benefits from. And again, it's all based off the real science, evidence-based research, and to basically get the best clinical outcomes, CBD needs to be given twice a day for dogs and 3 times a day for cats.
Okay. So speaking of real science, real outcomes, are there any real side effects that come with the administration of CBD?
Great question. There's some very minor side effects we've seen on maybe a handful of the thousands of animals we treated. And those would be Those would be lethargy. Also a little bit of diarrhea can happen. Those are really the only side effects that we've seen. In our product, we use CBD isolate. We don't use oil, which a lot of the other companies used hemp-based oils, which can be rough on the stomach, also not nearly as palatable. So we use it, again, it's basically looks like it's a crystallized form. It's 99.9% pure CBD and only CBD, no THC. So and our product is a soft chew, which is basically, it's human grade food that tastes like cheese bread. So it's very palatable. I don't know if you've ever tried hemp oil, but it's not very palatable.
The cheese bread, I mean, it sounds like something.
Cheese bread is, I can tell you, I've eaten hundreds of them to prove to people that it really is human grade food, and it is quite palatable. So it's much easier to administer a soft chew than it is to try to dose an animal 2 or 3 times a day with drops. It's a much easier to administer situation.
Now, do you guys have an office where you guys are located, or are your products sold online?
Yes, we're based in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we have veterinarians across the United States and different parts of the world that actually retail our products. And we also have an online store as well at CompanionCBD.com. And we also have another really unique feature on our website that's called Ask a Vet. So if you go to CompanionCBD.com, click on Ask a Vet, you can ask a question that a veterinarian will return with a response, usually within hours. Any question regarding CBD. And we have a new Facebook group that we just created. We're on Instagram as well. So we're kind of all over social media, doing our best, again, to better educate pet parents globally.
Yeah, that's awesome, Brad.
Thank you.
Would you recommend that pets go see their vet before, being recommended to take CBD for their animals, or is this something that you can just buy regularly?
Well, you can definitely buy it regularly, but we always suggest that you notify your veterinarian or ask your veterinarian what their thoughts are about CBD. There are quite a few vets that are very in favor of CBD, while others aren't, just because it's not regulated at this time. So, of course, we always say communicate with your veterinarian first. But if your veterinarian doesn't have a whole lot of information about CBD or just doesn't know, that's why we have the Ask a Vet feature on our website, where we tell people, hey, contact us, let us help us better educate you so you can make that educated decision whether or not you can try the product. And there's really no harm because it's an all natural product. Again, no THC, which can be toxic to pets. So, everybody always asks us, is it going to work? The answer to that question would be we treat everybody, every pet, every patient on a case-by-case basis. We have great testimonials on our website, and there's only one way to really find out if it's going to work, and that's to try it.
Absolutely. Do you want to speak to some of the effects as why it is so effective in pets?
I can, sure.
Yeah, just tell us how basically it works in an animal and why this is something that they need.
Okay. So CBD works very similar in the human body as it does into a pet's anatomy. And as I mentioned before, we have an endocannabinoid system. It's like an electrical system in our body. And when we feed that compound of CBD, again, it helps rid the different inflammations in the body that cause different disease states. So if you have a pet that's getting osteoarthritis, that's say 5, 6, 7 years old, that's starting to slow down, kind of like a human, like myself, I'm getting older, I can't recover as quickly. Instead of taking a pharmaceutical, a pain medication, an ibuprofen, again, the CBD really can act as an adjunct therapy instead of taking these other pharmaceuticals that have side effects. So that's why a lot of people want to incorporate CBD into their pet's regimen. Again, just because there's very minor side effects, as I mentioned earlier.
Right. And then is CBD something that can be combined if a pet already is on medication?
Absolutely. So we work with veterinarians all over the world to set different dosing guidelines up individually. So, for example, pets that have cancers. We've had several recently where we had contacted the veterinarians of that patient would contact us, so we would know exactly what medications they're taking and then how to incorporate the right amount of CBD. And a lot of it can be trial and error at first, but we haven't seen any side effects. It's very user friendly in that regard, again, because it's an all natural product.
Mm-hmm. And so I know you mentioned dogs and cats mostly are on your market, but any other kind of exotic animals people purchase this for?
Interestingly enough, yes. So we've seen people purchase for guinea pigs, rabbits, hamsters. We have another product line coming out real soon. I can't quite tell you what that's for, but it's going to be very exciting.
Okay.
And
here whenever you are ready.
yes, it's very exciting. So, there's a lot of different applications. And also, as I mentioned earlier, we're learning more and more pretty much on a weekly basis with different studies that are being had of what other potential conditions and disease states CBD will be used for. So it's really the tip of the iceberg. You know, CBD's been around for a long time, but it's been rediscovered about 5 years ago. So again, we're still learning on, you know, the features and benefits, if you will, of it. But again, having a product that's an all natural product formed and owned by a veterinarian owned company like we are, again, that hopefully that gives people peace of mind knowing that they can buy a safe, effective product from a company like us versus trying to buy something online or going onto Amazon. And interestingly enough, CBD is not legal to sell on Amazon. So once again, it is not legal to sell CBD on Amazon. A lot of companies out there are selling a product that may be a hemp seed oil product where they're misleading people to think that it's CBD. So always check with your vet first or check with us to make sure you know what you're getting is safe and effective.
Well, besides your new product line, any other big plans for 2021?
You know, I guess the big plan, again, it's education, education, education. You know, we have a saying that an educated consumer is our best customer. So we're really trying to continue to evolve our social media platform and our marketing to, again, better educate pet parents globally. And, you know, that's really the main mission of the company of what we're trying to do. And we'll be coming out with other product lines in the very near future as well that will help complement what we're doing. And, you know, we're super excited with what the near future holds.
Well, like you said, education, education. I feel even more educated just from our conversation here today. And I know everyone that watches this is going to gain a little bit more too.
Well, that's great. You know, again, people can reach out to us on our social media platforms. We also, people that are watching the show, we're going to offer a 20% discount for anybody that goes to the website, CompanionCBD.com. In the shopping cart, just put in welcome 20, and that'll give you a 20% discount for being a viewer of the show. Welcome home, doggy.
That's awesome. Hold on. Let me go ahead and make sure I got that down to get my order.
Absolutely. So it's welcome 20 with a capital W.
Perfect.
20. And, you know, we ship globally. It will ship to your home, to your business, wherever it may be. And, you know, any other questions that any of the viewers may have, again, they can reach us at info@companioncbd.com, or they can go to the website and click on Ask a Vet. We have a phone number on there as well. So we're here to help any way we can. And again, we work with other people's veterinarians. So whatever needs to take place, you know, we're all about taking care of your pets.
Well, thank you so much, Brad. And thank you for your time and all the knowledge that you shared here today.
And thank you so much as well.
Yes. For more information on today's show, visit our website and remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and like us on Facebook. I'm Arianna Lasha, and this is Welcome Home Doggy.